Well, where with you, I'm sure it's time someone in the government will start realising you've got to pay people decent money for doing essential things. And I hope the nurses and the teachers and everyone like that comes with you and let's get sensible, and have a proper society.
Apart from saying things about supporting the firefighters, I mean, this guy actually did want to support the firefighters, and there's a bit of a difference.
When I stood in, I think it was 1977, at an anti-Nazi rock concert back there in Victoria Park, I watched, well, you have to learn your politics somewhere. I looked up there and I saw the Clash supporting that cause, and I thought, one day, Joe, you're going to have the opportunity to share a platform with me.
He still never really let us down. You go to see him at the Floor or at Acton, and he was still exemplifying that same spirit, really. I mean, grown up, there's no point in just pretending you're still an angry 17-year-old when you're 50. He wasn't doing that, but in his own way, in new times, at his new age, he was still really pushing that spirit.
Joe, in his own words, in an interview he did with an American magazine in 2001, was not a political thinker, but he thought a lot about politics.
Nearly every song is about something, It asks questions, We may not have had the answers, but at least we got everybody asking the questions, And that's an important thing to do. And after our band, it was almost the criteria of a band, you've got to be about something. Because if you're not about something, what is it? It was a magic night, and I didn't really intend to play, and Joe and I had never discussed it beforehand, and we didn't pre-arrange anything, It was just I felt completely compelled when I heard the first chords of Bank Robber. I said, hold me coat, I'm going up.
Next thing I knew, I saw this thin figure coming on stage left, cradling his guitar, Mick Jones, amidst Bank Robber. And I knew then, of course, that my hunch had been right, and we were witnesses to a very important bit of rock and roll history.
Just when you thought the evening couldn't get any better at all, Mick Jones rather sort of casually strides on and starts, rekindling, everyone's sort of memories of the Clash on stage. I'll be honest, at that point I just thought, well, I'm just stopping here all night. I'm stopping here certainly as long as they're playing together again. It was incredible. And I got to say, I'm sure they haven't practiced, but it doesn't look like they've needed to. They just got on with it, and it was fantastic. The whole place was bouncing. There's no doubt about that.
And it was just like that, a spur of the moment thing, and I'm so glad I did it now, because it turned out to be the last time I got to play with Joe, and we have things we had thought we may talk about, possibility of playing in the future. There was a lot of speculation, and this turned out poetically.
well, that was absolute magic. And to see the expressions exchanged between the two of them on stage. Well, what, 500, 600 of us there. It felt such a privilege to witness something that most of us had given up any hope of ever seeing. But it also struck me immediately that here were two guys whom I know have been offered vast sums of money to do reunion tours by promoters, big business people, etc. And there they were on stage doing it specifically for the firefighters' cause, a cause which already was coming under very stiff attack in sections of the media.
He's gonna play the guitar now.
So how did you feel when you actually heard the news of his death?
I don't think there's words to describe how I felt. Really, I couldn't really say I lost a great friend and a you know, an irreplaceable writing partner.
I can't really describe it, to be honest with you. When I come to London, like I came up today, I keep expecting to see him. I still haven't accepted yet that he's gone forever. I mean, obviously he is, but I still haven't come to terms with it at all. No.
What do you think they want to say to us while we was being clever?
I mean, I remember hearing the news on the TV and just being, I'm just completely empty for a few hours, thinking, I mean, almost, is this true? You know, I mean, it was like unreal. Actually having the opportunity to speak to the man, seeing them, you know, him and Mick get back together and play at least on a stage again, and then such a short time afterwards, and a relatively young guy.
The day Joe died, I was playing a gig in Dover, and I wanted to psych myself up, so I put London Calling on, full blast, and as I was getting the drums ready, I was listening to London Calling, because I'm very proud of that album, and I had to build myself up for the energy for that night, and I did the show, and I came off and I was told Joe was dead, so it was a hell of a way to fall, you know.
Yeah, when he died, one of the things that I thought about was the great thing about him was that the tragedy wasn't this was a great old figure from the 70s. It was someone who did still have a lot left to give, but that it was part of what he had to give was what he did in the 70s, that he was still sort of propelling that forward in some way or other. And I'm sure he would have loved the anti-war march, and I know he was going to go and do that thing in South Africa, the Nelson Mandela song and stuff like that, and he was sort of looking forward to taking the spirit of 77 forward. An enormous moment in my life, I know, was getting. I knew of the Clash, but I didn't, and I knew I had to get the album, but I'd never heard them, and I got them home, and the first track, side one of that album, I couldn't, you know, who on earth could tell what the lyrics are? And something about it that just screamed out to me, "You be fucking angry if you want, mate. That's all right. We're all angry. It doesn't matter." And that old thing of, you know, I'm not on my own, that thing that if culture can make you feel like that, then that it can do no greater job than that, in a way, of saying these feelings you have, that's all right to have them. You're not on your own. And suddenly I thought, yeah, and I'd show you, turn it up full, and of course within 10 seconds, turn that bloody rubbish down, fuck off. It was just a fantastic moment for me.
And the GMA, you know what? Look good.